The New York Jets are a winless team. One of the, if not, I think the only winless team. You may want to double check me on that, but they are downright disgusting right now. They are not good. And it, Justin Fields in the last game against the Broncos threw a grand total of 45 passing yards, which is just downright disgusting. So, we're going to rebuild the New York Jets for 5 years until they win a Super Bowl. So, this is what the team is looking like. Justin Fields at quarterback. We have Breece Hall at running back. And buried on the depth chart is Braylon Allen as well. But we have Garrett Wilson, Olu Fashanu, Armand Mimbu. But what this team thinks their identity is meant to be is defense, which I will give them credit there. Their defense has been pretty decent this season, with Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner anchoring it. But other than that, you have a terrible linebacker core after C.J. Mosley retires, and it's just a really questionable organization as far as roster talent goes. We're going to try to develop Mason Taylor at tight end, but if he doesn't work out, I will not be afraid to draft another one. So, like I said, we do have some big question marks. Breece Hall, last year of his contract, he wants $34 million. Elijah Vera Tucker, who we are going to re-sign now because he is the right guard for the future, even though he's out for the season. Got to go ahead and sign him. And then we have Andre Cisco, who they got from the Jaguars. Tony Adams, Quincy Williams. The rest are just probably not going to be on this team for the future. Breece Hall, it really just depends on how he does during the season. Then, due to a breakout scenario, Andre Cisco is now a superstar development trait, so maybe we do look to re-sign him. He is only 25. Could be a free safety that we keep for the entire rebuild. So I do think we will most likely re-sign him in the offseason. So here at mid-season, we are better than they are in real life, 3-4. So could look to make a trade, but most likely I don't really think we will. If we do, it'll probably be a minuscule trade. If we take a look at the stats, Justin Fields leads the league in passing. 60 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Breece Hall, almost averaging 4 yards a carry, has been decent. 5 touchdowns, not too shabby. Alan Lazard leads us in receiving yardage and touchdowns. Garrett Wilson behind him. Mason Taylor's having a decent season. Defensively, Will McDonald leads us in TFLs and sacks. And 2 interceptions from the offseason acquisition, Brandon Stevens. 2 for Tony Adams, 2 for Sauce Gardner, and 2 for Andre Cisco. Well then, we ended up finishing 7-10. So, it's not great. Looking at the mock draft, we are projected to have pick 16, which is not fantastic. Not the pick I would want personally, but is what it is. Looking at the stats, Justin Fields continues to lead the league in passing yards with over 4,500 passing yards, to be exact, 4,617. 35 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. Running the ball, Breece Hall was not great. Like, He's not getting that many attempts. He's almost averaging 4 yards a carry. I can't tell if it's the offensive scheme or if it's just him, but if that's the production we're going to get out of an 87 overall running back, then I'm not going to bother with re-signing him, because we could just get any other running back to do that. Garrett Wilson, 121 catches, 1,400 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Allen Lazard turning back the clock. A little over 70 catches, almost 1,100 yards, and 15 receiving touchdowns. Mason Taylor was good too. Defensively, oh my goodness. Will McDonald, you freak. 16.5 sacks, 7.5 for Jermaine Johnson, and 7 for Quentin Williams. Sauce Gardner had 5 picks. Andre Cisco had 5 picks as well. Thomas had 4. Interestingly enough, the defense wasn't terrible. Taking a look at the season recap, your Super Bowl champions are the Eagles, going back-to-back against my Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen wins MVP, Mike Vrabel Coach of the Year, Puka Nacua Offensive Player of the Year, but Defensive Player of the Year goes to the Jets. Will McDonald, with his 16.5 sacks, wins Defensive Player of the Year. Jada Higgins, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Mikael Williams for the 49ers, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Looking at DevUps, Justin Fields goes up to star dev. Surprisingly enough. Al Lazard goes back up to star. But Garrett Wilson up to an X factor, which is just fantastic. Defensively, Andre Cisco, with his 5 interceptions, goes up to superstar X factor. Wow. Quentin Williams loses his X factor, but Will McDonald gains a superstar. Sherwood goes up to star. So, good amount of DevUps. Do we continue with Justin Field for the next couple of seasons? I have no clue. Really just depends on his play next year, I guess. Looking at final renegotiations, we're not going to bring back Breece Hall, but we do want Andre Cisco back for sure. We're going to give him a low-risk offer, bump up the salary, bump up the bonus, and he does resign. We have the money to spend, and he's fantastic. He's been fantastic. We want Will McDonald's 5th-year option. Everybody else, including Allen Lazard, who had over 1,000 yards, we're going to let them go. Breece Hall, you're just not good. Not for the offensive scheme, at least. And in free agency, Breece Hall does head the free agency class, along with Taylor Moton, Jaquan Brisker, DJ Reader, some older veteran players. Rico Dowdle's in here, who has been going off for the Panthers, and in fantasy he's had 30 points the last couple of weeks, so been fantastic for my fantasy team. But like, Daniel Jones is here. I think we're going to write it out for now. We do need a running back to replace our guy Breece Hall. So I think we can run with Keaton Mitchell here. He's cheaper. We'll offer him a 3-year deal worth about $12 million. We are here at the NFL Draft, and we have pick number 6 overall. And if you can't tell, the quarterback class is pretty trash. I mean, they got these 2 guys right here. They're 1-2. But I think I would rather just have Justin Fields starting at that point. There is some edge rushers that I do like, but Will McDonald's developed beautifully. We don't need offensive tackle, but there is a corner here. Travarius Edens, top 5 talent. And then there's the safety down the board that I like as well. He's from USC, has a hit power, so a USC safety, that's what they say, is what you need to look for. So, a defensive tackle goes first, edge second, two quarterbacks third and fourth, and then a left tackle. Okay. So, what we did here is we're going to be trading Harrison Phillips, Michael Carter, our first round pick this year, and a second round pick next year for the 49ers 2026 first round pick, their 2028 first round pick, the 2028 second, a 2028 fourth, and a 2028 seventh. Quarterback, we're not taking pass rusher. We're not even taking wide receiver. Down on the board here is Edens. So, with this selection, because the Chargers are projected to take him at 19, Javarius Edens, welcome to the New York Giants. He was number 3 in true talent and hidden dev. Fantastic. 91 speed, 6'3". His athletic ability is fantastic. Great pick. Now, looking at the board, the Cowboys at 23 are projected to take the safety. And I kind of really want the safety. So we're going to try to make a trade with the... we're just going to sim a couple picks, and then we'll see if we can make a trade with the Rams at 21. Or even the Steelers. We'll let it go one more. And they have not taken him. So, I attempted to make a trade, it's just not going to work. And they don't take him. They do not take the safety. To risk him falling to the second round. I don't think the Commanders will take him. I don't think the Rams will take him. Like, is anybody even going to take him? That's not him. That's not the guy. I don't really think it makes sense for any of the wide receivers are still on the board. Like, he's all the way down here at 48. So, I think we could steal him in the second round. And he's still there. Oh my goodness, he is still here. Tony Peralta. You are now a New York Jet. 11th in true talent is normal dev, though. Yikes. Could be a bust. I don't know. We do not have a third round selection, so we're heading to the fourth. Alright. Okay, let's see. Why is there so many defensive tackles at the top of the board? I do like Mike Duckworth. He looks to be really good, actually. Do I pull the trigger on the fourth? I think I do. 22nd in true value is hidden. I was just going to do the rest of the picks on my own, but the last two, we're in the 7th round here, and Trent Holmes, a hidden dev defensive tackle out of LSU. Honestly, a gem. Well then, here's the draft recap. Edens is a 79 overall. Peralta is a 76, a 75 for Duckworth. 2 busts, and then a 74 for Trent Holmes. Wow. This is the team looking into year number 2. Justin Fields is a 79. Garrett Wilson is a 90. The offensive line looks really good. The receiver core could be better, obviously. But defensively, improved the D-line a lot with bringing in Holmes to be our second defensive tackle, running a 4-3. Cornerbacks are looking fantastic. Peralta's the new starting strong safety. Definitely the only real weakness on the defense, I believe, is the linebacking core. Other than that, everybody else is going to develop throughout the season, so I think we could be really good this season. Looking at players to re-sign, Justin Fields is here, Joe Tippmann, Jermaine Johnson, and the rest of these guys most likely going to be free agents. So we could have a lot of money going into the offseason. Here at mid-season, we are 1 win less than last season, 2-4. The team isn't been terrible looking at stats. Like, obviously, Justin Fields, this is probably his last season in New York. 12 touchdowns, 5 picks, 1,600 yards. Keaton Mitchell only has 34 carries. Has been terrible. Downright disgusting. Receiving the ball, Garrett Wilson, already 500 yards, 49 catches, and 2 touchdowns. Adrian Smith, 30 catches, 300, almost 400 yards. And Adonis Smith, 300 yards. Mason Taylor, almost 300. Defensively, Quinn Williams leads us at sacks. I don't know where Will McDonald's at. Needs to get his head out of the gutter. Sauce Gardner, 2 picks, 1 pick from KJ Britt, and 1 pick from the rookie, Tony Peralta. Looking at our record, we are 5-12 here, finishing at year number 2. Just not great. We only won 3 more games after the midseason point. Really looking forward to the offseason. I think we'd be good next season. But take a look at the stats. Another great passing season for Justin Fields. He does have a lot of interceptions on his record, though. 31 touchdowns, almost 5,000 passing yards. Running the ball, he was our leading rusher. This is terrible. I don't know if it's just the Bengals playbook, but Garrett Wilson was fantastic. Adonis Smith was fantastic. Mason Taylor, this may be your last season here because there's a generational tight end in this draft, I have a feeling. Defensively, TFLs, Quinn Williams leads us. Sacks, he also leads us. Interceptions, Sauce Gardner has 4. Thomas has 3. 2 for Peralta. 1 for Edens, and 1 for a couple others, including Andre Cisco. And the Eagles have done it. Your Philadelphia Eagles have three-peated. Yes, you heard me correctly, three-peated. Wow. The Titans somehow made it to the Super Bowl. They fired Brian Callahan in real life, obviously. I don't know if they've implemented it into the game yet, but is what it is. Joe Burrow, MVP. Titans head coach. Auto-generated coach. Coach of the year. Puka Nacua, Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to the Chiefs. And Chris Jones. Chad Baldwin, the receiver for the Dolphins, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to number 1 overall pick, Chris Wright, at defensive tackle. Looking at DevOps, doesn't look to be any on the offense besides Mason Taylor, so maybe his job's safe, maybe it isn't, who knows. Defensively, Andre Cisco goes down, but Quentin Williams gets his back. Holmes goes up to Superstar, and Thomas goes up to Superstar. Peralta goes up to Star. CJ Britt goes up to Star as well, so development is key. Looking at re-signees, we're going to accept Fashanu's 5th-year option. Justin Fields, we're going to let walk. That's just too much money he's asking for. Joe Tippmann, I would like to keep. We'll give you a low-risk offer, and he does decide to stay. Jermaine Johnson, $29 million at 28. I don't really think that's worth it. And I mean, we could re-sign CJ Britt, but I feel like we could just let him go because I think we're going to be able to sign bigger free agents this year. So our only target is going to be Derek Call here. He does sign, and he does sign with us. Fantastic. Zay Flowers goes to the Patriots. His teammate goes, and Marlon Humphrey goes to the Seahawks. Ellen Jenkins goes to the Seahawks. Jeremy Chin back to the Panthers, reuniting with his original team. Here we are at the NFL Draft. We have pick number 2 this season. And there's a quarterback I really, really, really want. Easton Sanderson. He just looks fantastic. Elite throw power, good enough athleticism. I'm just really hoping... Like, the Giants have Jackson Dart. Why would they take him? They take a left tackle. Thank goodness. This is the easiest selection for me, in my opinion. It's going to be Easton Sanderson. Welcome to the New York Jets. Number 1 in true talent. 94 throw power. This guy is a generational quarterback. Now, after we got that out of the way, there is another top 5 talent that I would like. And you may have heard me hint at it earlier. But Miguel Carlin, or this, how do you pronounce his last name? This tight end is a top 5 talent. So, those are every once in a while. So, I'm going to try to trade back, or try to trade up, technically, with the Eagles. But first, I would like to get a good amount into the draft. So, hopefully, I can catch back up with y'all then. Now, maybe I was wrong, but Blake Samuels has great physicals. Just a little bit worse of a run blocker. So, we're just going to take him here. 60th of true value. Is it in dev, though? 86 speed. Okay, so maybe blessing in disguise. Also, Mason Taylor, you may be in trouble, brother. Eddie Franklin, a left guard, hidden dev. This was our pick. The last pick that y'all will see will be Trey Price, a right guard, 26th of true value, hidden dev. So, pretty good. Looking at the draft recap, Sanderson is an 81 overall quarterback, going to be the starter for years to come. Samuels is a 73, bust in the 4th. 75 from Franklin, a 76 from Trey Price, a 70 from this defensive tackle, and a 65 from this wide receiver. Looking at the rest of the NFL, an 81 for the left tackle that the Giants took at pick 1, and an 81 for Miguel. That's painful. This LSU safety is an 81 as well. Jose Duckworth. My goodness, was this just like a tight end class? Goodness. This is the team going into year number 3. Sanderson at quarterback, Mitchell at running back, Garrett Wilson, Adonis Smith, and another Smith. Shows you how common a Smith is at last name. And then our offensive line is going to develop very well. Duckworth is up to a 79. And we have great depth here as well. Mason Taylor will remain the starting tight end. But Samuels, if Mason Taylor wants more money than I'm willing to pay for him, Samuels will be waiting in the reins. Defensively, the only real weakness we have, per se, is linebacker. I do think Sherwood and Mike is developing decently, but if we got Sam and Will linebackers, like at least an 80 overall, I think we'd be fantastic, but still doing decently. Looking at the re-signees we have for year 3, Quentin Williams, Will McDonald, Sherwood. Some interesting names here. We are going to re-sign Quentin right now. He is almost 30, but he has a little bit of interest in the team, so give him a 3-year deal. Will McDonald, we'll give him a low-risk offer. He doesn't want to sign back. We'll probably re-sign him in the offseason. Sherwood, I'm still questioning. And the rest of them, I am fine with letting go of. Well, I accidentally skipped over the mid-season, but we are 4-7 at week 13. So, not great, obviously. Could turn it around, possibly. Just not great. 14th seed right now. Just, like I said, not great. Finished with the best record we have had up to this point in the rebuild. 8-9 with an 88 overall team. It is what it is. Looking at stats, Easton Sanderson, 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Great season. Running the ball, just not any much better. Catching the ball, Garrett Wilson was fantastic. Adonis Smith was fantastic as well. Adrian Smith had 10 receiving touchdowns. Mason Taylor was good. Defensively, Sherwood leads the way in tackles. 11 sacks from Derek Hall, 10 from Quinn Williams, and 10 from Will McDonald. 8.5 from Holmes. 7 interceptions for Sauce Gardner. Leads the team, maybe even leads the NFL. I do want to check that real quick. And it does. The second is a Mike linebacker in Roquan Smith. Interesting. Bills lose another Super Bowl to a different team, but it is the Rams this time. Kyron Williams, your Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen, NFL MVP. Giants head coach of the year. Offensive player of the year goes to Josh Allen. Defensive player of the year goes to Jared Verse. Offensive rookie of the year goes to our quarterback, Easton Sanderson. And defensive rookie of the year goes to a defensive tackle, Ben Branch. So, Will McDonald, we do need to re-sign him. We're going to give him a very low-risk offer, and he doesn't sign, buddy. I'm sorry, but you're getting the franchise tag. Sherwood, definitely want him back. Does not want to sign back either. We're going to accept Armand Minbu's option. Sherwood, we're going to try to re-sign in free agency, but the rest of these guys we're going to let go. We're going to up offer for Jack Campbell. They both sign, and we get Sherwood back. So we do not get Jack Campbell. He goes to the Titans. And Jahmyr Gibbs goes to the New York Giants. Why do they have to get even stronger, bro? DeJean to the Raiders. Jordan Davis to the Saints. Sanderson is a superstar. Wilson's still an X factor. Offensive line's good. Defensively, Will McDonald goes up to X factor. Sherwood goes up to superstar. We do need a better linebacker, though. Here we are in the 2028 NFL Draft. Pick 12 and pick 20. Now, there is a running back that I do happen to want. a lot. Top 5 talent in Nigel Smith. He looks fantastic, and I do really want him, so. I don't really know if we trade up or where he's projected to go, but I don't think that any of these top teams will take a running back. So far, no running back yet. Another defensive tackle. A defensive tackle. A quarterback goes. Edge. And then there's the running back, bro. Oh, we got sniped by the Bengals, bro. Seriously? That's alright. We're gonna make a trade. I don't understand what this is, but it's Ashton Jeanty for 2 first-round picks and a 4th this year. Wow. What a steal of a trade. Looking at wide receiver, this guy looks decent. We'll take Sean Hawkins. Maybe a Reese Phillies. 55th of true talent. Normal dev. That's looking at the draft recap. Sean Hawkins was a 74 and a 71 for Chris Cox. And then the CPU took us a 69 overall running back. Nice. A 70 overall receiver. And then we have a 73 overall corner. We're going to give the Houston Texans a 2030 first round pick for this Sam linebacker who is an X Factor. Actually, this is what the team is going to look like for year 4. The offense looks fantastic. The defense, with the improvement at will linebacker, or technically strong linebacker, or Sam linebacker, the defense is looking great. The offense looking fantastic. I feel like we could win a Super Bowl with this team. The reason Ashton Jeanty came to the New York was because he was on the last year of his contract. He does have interest of staying here, though. And he does resign. Easy enough. Thomas, we're going to give him a low risk. He does sign as well. Olu Fashanu, give him a 4-year deal. He does sign as well. And then Will McDonald and Mason Taylor. So, like I said, Mason Taylor could be out of here. But something I do think we need to do is trade Keaton Mitchell at midseason, but we're not there yet. So, season we have a winning record at 5-2. Taking a look at the stats. Easton Sanderson, almost 2,000 passing yards, 18 touchdowns to 5 picks. Running the ball, finally we get a good running back, and Ashton Jeanty starts to cook. Almost 5 yards a pop. Catching the ball, Garrett Wilson's been fantastic. Sean Hawkins, the rookie receiver, almost the same amount of yards on 22 less catches and more touchdowns than Garrett Wilson, interestingly enough. Defensively, Will McDonald leads us in sacks, and Thomas has 2 picks. And we have made it to the end of the season, and we finally have a playoff berth. 10-7, a 91 overall. We are the 5 seed, with the Bills having the 1 seed, obviously. Because of course they would. Yikes. Scary. But, let's see what we can do against the Texans. Take the Texans down. So, we have to play the Buffalo Bills. Take a look at the schedule. Not the playoff schedule. Not the playoff schedule. The team schedule. The first time we played the Bills was in week 13, where we had them at home and we beat them. And then when we played them in Buffalo, we lost by 2 scores. So this one could be interesting. Let's hop in here. Alright, we're here. Playoff football, the divisional round. Into Super Sim we go. And if we do happen to win this one, we will have to go take on the Los Angeles Chargers in the championship round. Bills start off with a quick 7-0 lead. It is 7-0 going, 14-0 going in, 14-3 going into halftime. Third and 6, we convert. Mason Taylor, and then we have an offensive penalty holding. And it's 11-14 now. The defense needs to get a stop here if we want a chance. 4th and 6, they are forced to punt. And we are driving down the field right now. It's 4th and 4. And the field goal is missed by Chase McLaughlin. And the Bills are forced to take 3. There's still a chance. We're going to hop in here. A little over 2 minutes left to go. Sanderson in the shotgun. Genty. Motion. It'll be a play fake. It looks like they were trying to set up a screen, but is sacked in the backfield. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 19 from just below midfield. Sanderson in the empty will take the snap. Looking over the middle, has a receiver, and it's 4th and 1. What will he do? Will the offense stay out there? I doubt we'll kick a field goal. And the offense will stay out there. 2 linebackers look to be blitzing. It will be a handoff to Genty, and he picks up the first down. In the hurry up now. Just above the 35. Sanderson, time, looking, overthrows his man. That will stop the clock. It is 2nd and 10 from the 33 with just a little under a minute and 30. In the offset. Taking it with one hand. Sanderson looking over the middle. He will find his receiver. And the first timeout is called for by the Jets. This could lead to an AFC Championship berth. Will they decide to run down a little bit of clock here? Sanderson will look to pass. Looking. And it is intercepted. And Terrell Bernard puts an end to the hopes. Possibly. The Jets still have 2 timeouts. Sanderson just trying to fit it into a tight window there to Taylor. And just not working. Allen. It's going to be a handoff to Cook. He has the lanes parted. And that will most likely do it. Here from Buffalo, New York. Wow. The Jets get the stop. But they will just run out the clock. And the Bills will take home the W. Just a low-scoring defensive battle, and our defense cannot keep up with Josh Allen. Looking at player stats Sanderson, the one interception, really killed. Running the ball, Genty had a touchdown. Just Garrett Wilson was non-existent. The defense was non-existent. And your Los Angeles Chargers are the Super Bowl champions. Their first Super Bowl in history. But the awards, the Rams take home MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year. The Rams take home Offensive Rookie of the Year, and the Jaguars take home Defensive Rookie of the Year. An LA Super Bowl, to say the least. Looking at DevUps, Sanderson goes up to Superstar X Factor, but Wilson goes down. I mean, I understand he hit 29, but he still had a great season. Why did he go down? He led the league in receptions, for goodness sake. Well, we gain an X Factor but lose one at the same time. Hawkins goes up to Superstar, and it looks like Cox, the hidden dev receiver, was Superstar. So, he will be a starter next season. Defensively, Will McDonald regresses down to Superstar, and so does Quentin Williams. We do not have any dev-ups, but the defense still really good. We are going to accept Eden's fifth-year option, and this is our last chance to get Will McDonald to re-sign. We're going to offer him a 2-year deal, and he takes it. Now, I don't think we're going to re-sign Mason Taylor, because $35 million is a lot for a tight end. And the rest of these guys, these are our two targets. They both sign, and they both come to the Jets. Our only draft pick we're going to make here is going to be Terrence Whitfield, a top 5 tight end, true talent, number 2 in the draft class, 87 speed, 6'6", out of Tight End University. This guy is going to replace Mason Taylor. I have to recap. Terrence Whitfield is an 80 overall. A 72 that the CPU drafted, some stinkers, and then a 70 corner. It's going to look like going into the 5th year. Sanderson has great wide receivers to throw to. We have Asher Genty to run the ball, which I do want to just check. What was his final season stats? Because we didn't check those last year. So yeah, he gets out of Vegas. He has a great season with us. Even catching the ball, a career high 44 receptions for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. So, changing the scheme definitely helped, I believe. If you want to look at the defense, Poindexter at will linebacker, McDonald, Hall, our secondary is fantastic, and our D-line is good enough to where we can stop the run whenever we need to. So we have to re-sign a good amount of players. I mean, a good amount of players. We're probably going to have to make a trade to make up money. That or restructure some contracts. At midseason, we are 5-1. We lost to the Commanders in Week 6 by 2 scores, which is yucky. But looking at statistics, Easton Sanderson is having a great season. 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. Genty has 400 yards, only 1 rushing touchdown, though, which is a little bit surprising to me. Chris Cox leads us in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. Garrett Wilson does not have a receiving touchdown this season. Defensively, 6 sacks for Derek Hall and only 3 interceptions. Not great. Regular season, 13-4. First round bye. Fantastic. Who are we going to play in the divisional round? Let's find out. So, we have a familiar opponent in the New England Patriots. We did play them twice this season. Looking whether we beat them or not. Let's find out. So, we beat them at home, and then we beat them again in Foxborough, so hopefully we win this matchup and advance to the AFC champion. And we are here against another rebuilding team at this point that I'm recording this. The Cleveland Browns. They're 12-5. They beat Baltimore, and then they beat the Tennessee Titans to play us. So, let's jump in. The Browns start with the ball, driving down the field, and they will score. And a 35-yard rushing touchdown from Ashton Jeanty to tie the game up. Looking. And they will kick 3. A chance for New York to take the lead here. 3rd and 5, they will convert. 3rd and 6. And they will kick 3 as well. 10-10. And will the Browns score before halftime? They do. 17-10. And it remains 17-10 going into halftime. The Jets will have the ball, trying to tie it up, and they do. 17-17 now, a very competitive game so far. At 4th and 5, they are forced to kick a field goal. A holding penalty causes a untimely, not good. We're going to jump in here and watch. Alright. Sanderson, 3rd and 5. Looks to pass. Looking over the middle, and it's dropped by Garrett Wilson. 4th and 5, they will be forced to punt. A stop, and it's a 30 or 75-yard passing touchdown to Alec Illuminor. 34-24 is your final score. The 1 seed does not advance to the Super Bowl. 1 more year of development, and I think this team will be golden. Just Sanderson, not great. Jeanty was fantastic. They just controlled the clock. Like, they cooked us, pretty much. Their defense was good. They will make back-to-back Super Bowls, but the Rams will win this Super Bowl. Dude wins MVP again. My goodness. Oops. Chris Cox goes up to X Factor, but Garrett Wilson regresses to a star dev. Whitfield is a superstar. Defensively, McDonald goes back up to an X Factor. Sauce Gardner finally starts to take a dip. It goes down to a superstar, but still amazing defense regardless. We will be accepting Easton Sanders' 5th-year option. We will be resigning D. Poindexter. I almost said something wrong. Yikes. We will be negotiating with Armand Mimbu. We do want Trent Holmes back, but we're going to have to let go of some of our depth. We're going to have to restructure some guys' contracts. Alright, now renegotiating. We want to bring Trent Holmes back. He does re-sign for a 2-year extension. Peralta, We're going to give him a 3-year extension. Cisco, I don't know. We gotta re-sign Elijah Vera Tucker as well. Running out of cap space. And he doesn't want to re-sign. If we franchise tag him, just not worth it. I mean, we're just looking at the free agency market. Oh my goodness, Joe Burrow's here. Rashawn Slater. Kobe Turner's here. Oh my goodness. What a free agency class. Monumental. The only free agent we are going after is going to be Juan Duncan. And we do get him, so. Joe Burrow signs with the Steelers. How is that even possible? Wow. We are going to be shipping on Garrett Wilson to the Steelers. Now, thinking about it, they have Joe Burrow and now Garrett Wilson. But we do take their center from them, Zach Frazier, and we get a free safety to replace our outgoing Andre Cisco. So, that's what the team's looking like now. So, without a first-round pick here, we're going to sim this draft and see what we get. A really crappy draft from the CPU. The final year of this rebuild, if you want to see me... Well, I say, this will be the final year that I controlled the team. I've done all I can. I've created one of the best teams I've ever done in a rebuild. But this will be the last year that I controlled the team. Then we will send 5 more years to see if they can win a Super Bowl on their own. The defense is fantastic. The offense is phenomenal. We just got to see if they could pull it out. A little bit of a repeat from last season. 5-1 at the midseason mark. Looking at stats, Sanderson's having the best year of his career. 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns to only 1 interception. Running the ball, it's been a little bit lackluster because it just so happened that Ashton Jeanty would go down with injury. So he's back and running the ball very well, at least as far as average goes. Receiving the ball, though, Chris Cox leads us, and then Blake Samuels. I believe Whitfield may have got injured, and he broke his finger. And then after that, Sean Hawkins leads as the tail end. Poindexter leads us in tackles, and Will McDonald leads us in sacks, and Poindexter also leads us in interceptions along with Devin Lloyd. A repeat season, except the first round bye. See, we are the 2 seed to the Chargers, who went 14-3. So, I assume that this is going to be a tough game, but I'm hoping we win. On the Chiefs 28-23. Now going up against the Cleveland Browns in the divisional round. And we take them down with ease, 40-11. The AFC Championship game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's hop in. And for a chance to the Super Bowl, we take on Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers. The Jets will get the ball to start the game, and they will punt the ball to start the game. The Chargers will punt back, and we will punt back to them. It's in the first quarter. It's 1st and goal, and the Chargers will take the lead 7-0. A 24-yard DPI penalty moves the Jets into field goal range, and it'll be 7-3. The Chargers are forced to punt, trying to score before halftime, and the Jets will do that. 10-7 now your score. And the Chargers are forced to punt back to us, and trying to go down the field, cannot. And Justin Herbert will fumble to start the third quarter. Huge turnover. But they do recover it, and they are forced to punt. Driving down the field now. And we are forced to take 3. 13-7 now, your score going into the fourth quarter. And they are forced to punt it. Trying to run the clock, we are forced to punt back. And they are forced to punt back to us. And we are forced to punt back to them. And it's an interception for Tony Peralta. In the red zone now. This could potentially put the game out of reach. Jeanty in the backfield. Under center. It'll be a play fake, play action, and it's a touchdown. What a play. Terrence Whitfield to put us in the lead. Sanderson just delivers it on the money, and Whitfield just drives those big legs of his into the end zone. And going for 2. Sanderson will drop back to pass, looking underneath, and it's dropped. Tough catch there, but still potentially the Chargers are still in this game. We're going to watch the rest of this one here. Justin Herbert in the shotgun. We'll take the snap, looking to pass. We'll find a wide open defender. Thomas, and that should end this one. Just where is Justin Herbert throwing that ball? I don't know, but the Jets defense has led the New York Jets back possibly to the Super Bowl since Joe Namath. And your New York Jets are heading back to the Super Bowl. 22-7 is your final score. After this game, we're just going to full send it to the Super Bowl. Justin Herbert very disappointed, but I'll catch back up with y'all when we get there and see who wins the Super Bowl. Looking at the recap, your New York Jets are Super Bowl champions. What a season. What a year. And we have brought the New York Jets back to the pinnacle of the sport. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.